Hi everyone, I'm here for the week 8 of speaking impromptu. Today, it's kind of a little bit rainy day. There are so many things I want to talk. During the week, I put some notes that I want to talk, and many of the things I put to my phone this weekend is about Epstein files. So many people are talking about Epstein's files these days, and some say it was released on purpose for people to react, to let their outrage. Because when they react, the media show that many times over a couple of weeks, and then after 2 weeks, there will be another news that will circulate around people that media highlight the most. After some time, Epstein files will be forgotten from people, and for those few weeks, they will not take action because the taking actions take time, right? Take time that the outrage the people have, the reaction people have. They know human psychology and they are playing with it. In Epstein files, even when a journalist asked from Trump that he said, let's get over with it. He said, easy. Say that man, Epstein is all over media and everywhere. Everyone has photos with him. So let's get over with him. It's so simple to say, right? But people will ever get justice? If you're gonna talk about Epstein files and how that connects to psychology, I can talk in very, very different angles about that. And there were evidence saying that he created Bitcoin as well. See? And there are photos connecting who Deepak Chopra and so many presidents in the world with who are influential people in the world that people trusted, and there are links for Mother Teresa and the wife of Epstein, the father of wife of Epstein, that they are connected. It seems like this is a very old, and old mean it is happening for few years. They say they kidnap children. Say if they give money or something valuable for them, the best age I think around 7, 6, 7, 8 or 13, 14. I think one of my friends says the best age is to around 7, 8. And that time they were kidnapped and they were given all the facilities, especially girls who were given all the facilities, food and everything, all the luxury, and draw them into being models or super attractive people so they can sell them to much rich and powerful people in the world. And the boys who they were kidnapped were trained to kill anyone without any regret. They trained them from the childhood to be like that. For them, the human life has no value. They were brainwashed, and then they were sell later into as private guards to do the shadow work of them. That is how their cartel works. And now there are so many things saying they worshipped a god called Baal or something, satanic god, and they sacrifice children, eat their meat, blood, what the fuck, and sell the bones to factories so they can make sausages, and we all end up eating those sausages. Who knows what they do behind the curtains, right? So many things that even we can't think of. Stories of people who have gone through the limit in life. We have all things, but the limit or the balance is something we got to maintain. When few people go to the power that they believe the law or anyone can't harm them, when they feel the immense power, they want to do everything that they can experience in this world. They experience. First, they experience normal things like normal humans. And after they experience that for a long time, they get tired of it. So they want to try new things, and not many people have done it. That's when they go beyond the limit. That's when they lose the balance. At first, they are very educated people. They're not stupid people who do that. They're very educated people who do business or get to know a lot of people, and they are saying that Epstein is a Mossad agent that who used this evidence to blackmail high elites. Who are high elites? High elites are the same people who you vote, that you elect them as the president of your country, as the person who become responsible for your survival to provide your basic needs. Imagine how this is all fixed to control ourselves. When the election is near, the media highlights just two people, and those two people have the most influence from the back. Either their career is sponsored by so many elites that who have money and control, and when they come into that position, they do what their investors, the sponsors ask, or they have the influence. When someone gives you so much money and help to get into that position, they tend to do what their sponsor is saying. Let's see what I'm put on the notes. And when you talk about America, that's the huge manipulation done to people, to us, through technology and psychology combined. They know the human psychology, and they use that psychology to control. Even from Epstein files, one of the way that we can move on or evolve, they show us Epstein file, and after some time it become normal to us, and people will question the leadership, and they will ask everything to be computerized, controlled by AI or systems, digital systems. And just like issuing a digital ID, soon you will hear that UK will link digital ID to these files, and the consequences of it when it becomes digital, the system will be accountable for the actions. Right now they say it's democracy, and people in power are not accountable for their actions. They live in their power. They go beyond the limit that humans should have. What if those people have emotional intelligence? If they learn that in their school? What if Elon Musk has emotional intelligence? What if Trump has emotional intelligence? I was talking about the election. Most of the people, when there's a Mossad agent or someone, they can blackmail and they can get whatever they want. Even Joe Biden once said that they have to invest in Israel to keep the regional, I heard it, regional interest, protect the interest in the region. They have to invest in Israel. How that idea can come into one's mind, because they should have influence. When they get blackmailed, they do whatever they want. And human pleasure go beyond pleasure. Once they get into that hole, it's hard to come out from that. They slightly move towards the destruction more and more, to the devil's mouth. And right now, I heard like saying American dream. What is American dream? Work on computers and stuck in a system, buy a house, buy a car. Who gonna make food? If you think that is the American dream, that you become just consumers, because you make money and you buy everything you want from that money, and you will spend all your life towards that goal. The money that humans created. Now the digital money, who created? Someone says Epstein, and they have teams all linked to major governments and rich families that are connected, and it's connected to COVID-19 as well. The few biggest names that heard connected to COVID-19: Bill Gates, Epstein, Rothschilds, and even I have heard that Rothschild came to Sri Lanka in a private jet during COVID-19 to check out a cure that made by Sri Lankan doctors, the ancient healing systems. So they want just one system only to exist, that is their order. They want everyone to follow their order. So there can't be any other healing systems. Everyone has to follow or take their flu shot, their cure only. From the fact that Rothschild came to Sri Lanka to check out that on his own shows that they really want only their solution for people, and they narrow it down through media. Everywhere they show it only their solution and eliminate all other competition. So they believe they can have their order. And UN, WHO, everyone being their puppets, and the church, Catholic Church, so many institutions is corrupted. Why? Because they just attach to their pleasures, their attachments. They don't see beyond that. Their environment is not created by such wisdom or knowledge. They don't feel the life of another human because they don't have compassion, they don't have emotional intelligence. Compassion is built through emotional intelligence, that education we can give to our children and make them grow into emotional intelligent leaders, citizens. So what of the note that I have put is how people try to maintain power. That is how when they accused of something, they just use their public speaking skills, their words to dismiss it right there. And they have the best lawyers, right? And even the laws are created by the same system and they have loopholes for that. Even who knows, the judges are friends of them. We don't know. Only the normal, ordinary citizen is harmed by police. That police is controlled by the same order, same people. And psychological manipulation is done by through media. Even now, there will be so many images and videos of elites doing things for people. And they can simply say this is AI or created, and they overfill you with so much information that you can't make sure which one is true, which one is correct, and then you can stop question and move on with life because you want to survive as well. You got plenty of things to do in your life. You don't have much time to worry about those files or so on. So that education, the psychology knowledge was in the world for long time and they are just using it for maintain their power. Because once they did something bad, they know that they have to keep that power in order to get in order to not getting punished. And drama and Hollywood is the same, created to distract you and to manipulate you. Sometimes they use like cartoons to show you the future because they are telling you what they are doing in indirect way. So when they really do it, they don't feel any regret. Maybe that's some belief they have to, like as a leader, you got to show, you have to tell people this is what we are doing, this is the vision we are following, this is where humanity evolving, this is how we evolving. And they just don't say that in media, they show it in their movies or from their cartoons, they show it, and from their inside they might feel no regret because they showed it to people beforehand. So we know who created COVID, who created Bitcoin. In the end, they just slowly push you to accept digitalization or digital ID or to be part of the system they have created. You might feel like you're in some computer system, but think about who control those systems. It could be the same people And even people, CEO of BlackRock and many, many big corporations are also involved, Zionist involved, especially Zionists and Israel Jews are not the same. Jewish people do not want to fight. They didn't ask for land, just the leaders. They just created whole drama and given a land, just saying they're following a prophecy that said like 300,000 years ago. Can you believe how childish is that? And they do whatever they want in the media because all the elites, the rich and powerful, and the law is working for them, working with them, and people feel powerless. But many people as a collective can change this. The best way, we have to ask for emotional intelligence as a qualification from leaders. Imagine those leaders have that knowledge. We should not know who rules the countries. If they are, if they can provide our basic needs, we don't really care. That is their job. Without they doing their job and to justify their actions, they just become public speakers and want to test their weapons and play with their agendas. When they really busy with their agendas, they don't have time to think for yourself really. Even the Pope is connected to them, Dalai Lama is connected to them. I don't know the truth, what is beyond that, but most of the religious people and powerful people, influential people, world leaders, seems like most of them are the same page or same system, or they just fall into the hole and they don't know how to come out of it. But we always have a way out of it. Even the children who are trained to kill from their childhood can be shown love and human value, and we can make them kind humans in this society. We can do that through education. Yeah, everything like from revealing the file, they pushing us towards to control, trust machines because we can't trust leaders. That's what they're trying to do. And when they stuck us into the machine, it becomes normal and it will be hard to come out from that. And I saw a video Bill Gates talk about a next pandemic that will be so much severe. I think I talked about that in the previous video, what they are predicting, and if there's another pandemic, people will willing to be isolated in their places and they don't question the system or they just hide. Yeah, and recently I have heard that Trump saying to move on with files after everything happened. How can a leader of a country ask people to move on with files because he was mentioned in the files, or Epstein was his best friend for nearly 10 years, more than 10 years? Is that why we have to move on? Or there's nothing, no justice for people, actions to be taken for them? And even Pam Bondi says that if we prosecute everybody in the Epstein files, the whole system will collapse. So the system is built on pedophiles, child traffickers, child sex traffickers, even they say Mossad agent, say CIA is involved. Is that the same system that we are electing to protect us? Are they protecting us or are they protecting the system? It seems like they are protecting the systems. What if these people, including police officers, officials in the governments, leaders, those agents, learn emotional intelligence? What if they do that? Because this system right now is overflowing with so many information and it's all about corruption and greed and going beyond their limits. They say God is a construct and cute girls are real. Yeah, it's true. You can't see the energy of the nature, but you can see and feel the human body. That is the reality we live in. It doesn't mean The karma of your actions are received back to you and in this society. We must able to have control of our power, our ability. We can do so many things. It doesn't mean that we have to do it or it's morally ethical. That's why we have consciousness to choose what is right and what is wrong. Is there a consent between those children and the elites people? We don't know. And it was saying they are creating genetically modified children. They could be, because when you have so much money and time and power to do whatever you want, that's how their mind works, because they haven't learned emotional intelligence and they haven't even knew who they were. They didn't even learn morality. Because when leaders have power, right, if you don't know what to do with it, it can corrupt. That is why we need intelligence, emotional intelligence. This whole system is built on that. How can we trust the people we elect? And who will come to the next election? Two people that media shows, Republican or Democratic. How do we know those people are qualified to be in that position? They can do the job for us, or are they pawns of the same rich and powerful people who controls the media and the narrative? How do we know? When the election is near, people get hyped up. They will see two people that running for election, and you might be busy choosing the best one out of those two. And whoever comes, they will have the influential of the same system and control, and they will be puppets of same system. So it is time for change, because the nature will not waiting. This nature must have balance. If we moving or evolving towards morally decaying era, the nature will restore the balance. It is up to us to decide how we want to evolve towards peace and love and harmony, unity, or towards destruction, hate, anger, and manipulation. Right now, I think you might know where we are evolving. In that evolvement, leaders are the driving force who's shaping the humanity. And if they are controlled and blackmailed by rich and powerful organizations, how can we trust? When we can't trust them, they, the same people, will show us a system, digital system that we can trust, and the same system will be controlled by same people. And you will stuck in that system, and those elites will do whatever they want with the resources in this world. The resources that is for us, we all equally owners of these resources. We bring nothing and we take nothing. We are here to live. For that we need to survive. That's why we have to share resources. And without doing that, we just try to show our power with the same brothers, same countries, in the same earth. We sanction them, we make it harder for them to survive. They create hate, they will unite, they want to fight the people who suppressing them. And the people who are not involved in that just consume the narrative of the media that you are exposed to right now, and you believe whoever they show you the enemy and whoever they show you the hero, and they will write the history from that technology and power and influence they have. Mostly I talk about files and same wars and conflicts still going on. They try to negotiate but not coming to an end. They say tension rising. Why tension rising? Because they can't regulate their anger. That stress comes with it. They all cling to power and position and their life. It's all connected, so many things connected. But one of the solution I see that we can cure from the root cause is the education of emotional intelligence. There are so many ways we can integrate that knowledge into our daily lives and to coexist peacefully in this world. Imagine how beautiful it is that leaders who listen to understand, leaders who talk with compassion, empathy, stress free, that comes is calming your own mind to going inwards in your own soul. That's when you feel another human and you feel love towards another human and you do the best not to harm anyone. If I'm gonna talk, I'll be talking for hours. I think this is enough for the week 8. It's nearly 2 months and I'm happy. But sometimes today I have a little bit of motivation when I start speaking, but however, I'm keep going because this need to change and it is actually your choice. I can tell you what we can do, but it is you who doing, who taking actions, who create communities, who create trust. It's you who have to do it, right? It is your choice and I believe you choose the right direction or better direction for us to evolve, a better direction where our children can live peacefully with harmony, with fulfilled, with belong to everyone by fulfilling the purpose of life. So this is a golden age where we all are connected. If not now, when? If not now, when? Easily America can change the world. If 10 million people, 20, 30 million people stand up and ask their leaders to be emotional intelligence, to be accountable, to learn emotional intelligence and be qualified with ongoing training, you can ask them for a qualification when they run into the election. And we can create that certification. We can create that training. Even with positive affirmations, a huge impact can be done. Imagine the leader repeating compassion practice for 5 minutes a day. Even science shows it over time. That person really feel compassionate towards others and they learn about themselves with continuous 15 minutes learning a day. Not much bad, right? Imagine 15-30 minutes a day learning for 1 year about emotional intelligence. It really makes the change. So my friend, the choice is yours. I know you're gonna choose the best. I think I know what you need, want to live in this world peacefully with harmony on one another, with one another. At the end, if we are well fed and safe to sleep, we don't fight with any ethnicity, any color, any background, any difference. They all are humans, just like you and me. And it's the same people who create the narrative and try to divide us. If we don't be mindful and if we don't think critically, we just repeat the same cycle and end our life and live the same world as we found it for our children. I believe that's not something you want to do. So it is time for a change.